What's up, everybody? All right, so how are y'all feeling? How have y'all been? I know I haven't really been alive this week like I wanted to. I have a lot going on this week. So I'm gonna make it up with you guys. Make it up to you guys by going live early, and then I'm gonna be going live later as well. So, alrighty, there we go. Whew, almost had a heart attack. All right now. All right, I got everything going. So, how do I turn this down? How do I turn the volume down? Hold on. Okay, so I can just take this off my head. Okay, so a lot has been going on with the money plug, right? So, sorry, let me move this out of the way. Well, a lot has been going on with the money plug, right? I was recently put in another article. I shared the links on my Facebook page as well as in the Facebook group for you guys to read, where I talked about the importance of financial literacy for students of color. Which is kind of along the same lines of all of the things we've been talking about recently, right? We've been talking about how generational curses didn't really start as generational curses. They were survival tactics that were used to kind of help us thrive back then, but how now they're not really doing anything for us but holding us back. As we evolve, so should the things that we're passing down to our children. So it's really interesting to have that dialogue, and I was really excited about it. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoy the article, as well as if you guys are on LinkedIn, my link is down at the bottom of the article. If you click my name, it'll take you to my LinkedIn page. Let's connect. I'm really getting into the whole LinkedIn space, but what else has been going on with the money plug? Just honestly, just a lot of work, a lot of new information came out recently. So I've been doing a lot of research so I can make sure that I'm always providing you guys with the best answer, the most accurate answer that I can. I know a lot of people have been asking me about like FICO 10T and the whole report that came out from the CFPB saying how the bureaus have knowingly not responded to people's disputes, and so like, what does that mean for them? It's been a lot. Like, my inbox has been bombarded with questions, and so I really want to. I promise, if you've ever emailed me, I swear I'm getting to your email. You just got to give me a little bit. But how's everybody going? How's everybody doing? I don't know. I'm excited to be live again. So, kind of a couple church announcements, right? So starting on Monday, every day next week, I will be dropping a YouTube video where I talk about the different laws, right? Because I feel like that's the most important piece that's missing for a lot of people when you guys start talking about understanding credit repair and doing your credit repair yourself, right? I always feel like that's probably like the number one thing a lot of people don't get. Why I get, you buy the letters and that's cool and everything, but do you understand why you're sending these letters? Or are you only sending them because that's what the person told you to? Which, okay, don't get me wrong, I get it, I was there before, but you really need to understand the processes that goes behind these, right? You need to understand why you're sending this letter. Why do I send this letter next? If I didn't get this response, what letter should come after that, right? So it's definitely important that you guys but it's definitely important that you guys understand the processes behind everything. Let's see. I've been getting a lot of uncomfortable talk. So I'll just put it like that in my TikTok DMs, which is crazy because I never check my TikTok DMs, but I've checked it and unfortunately I've had to block some people. Which is funny because I don't follow everybody, but I posted a video recently, multiple videos actually, talking about why I allow my credit card company to charge me interest. And the girls gagged. Do you hear me? They gagged. Everybody here pay extra and think to themselves, like, why in the world would I do that, right? Why in the world would I allow these companies to make money off of me? What a lot of you aren't understanding is that these are companies, and the more money they make off of you, the more valued your relationship with them is. And I get it. It's very intimidating when you start talking about interest because for a lot of you, the interest rate on your credit cards is in the 20s, right? But what a lot of people is kind of like not hearing, right? The part that everybody's kind of skipping over is that the method that I gave you all for using your credit cards is controlling how much interest they're charging you. So for example, let's say you only have one credit card and your credit limit is $1,000, right? It's $1,000. And let's say you're using your card, you've paid it down for the most part, but you still have a little bit of a balance, right? The balance you decided to leave on your card is $5. So then when you go to pay interest, you're only going to be paying interest on what is still reporting by your statement date. Remember, paying interest on $5 isn't a lot. It's pennies on the dollar, and you probably spend more than that at Starbucks. So I don't understand the discord when I say that. But again, I also need you guys to understand, when you don't have the best credit, you don't get to pick and choose what tips, you really want to listen to if you really want to maximize the points that you get on your credit score. When you want something bad enough, you'll be willing to do anything, including pay that interest. And I really think that it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? I really think it's very uncouth for those who have good credit and did not have to use that tactic to speak down on that tactic. Like, I really get it. The girls got 780s and 800s and 825s, and that's cool for you. But the reality that we live in is that not everybody has that, especially after the pandemic. And so to have such an ignorant mindset that just because you didn't have to do that, it doesn't work, I really think that's very arrogant. Because a lot of people don't understand that they didn't plan to have bad credit. And it's a lot of people who have good credit think that way. They believe that because they have good credit, anybody can do it. And there's a lot that goes into the decisions that people make that kind of lead them towards bad credit. And so I feel like it is very, very arrogant and ignorant of you to assume that just because you did it, everybody else can too, especially when they look like this. If you look like this, you do have an unfair advantage. Not that you asked for it, but it's there. It's a thing, right? We've all agreed that it's a thing. And so I get very, very upset and irritated when I see you all talk down to the people in my comments like, oh, just pay your bills. Oh, just get a better job. Move out the hood. Or my favorite, how come you guys live in the projects, but you're driving nice cars and you wear nice clothes? Because then that infuriates me, because just because you live in poverty does not mean that you don't deserve nice things. So that's another thing I definitely want to put out there. Like, just because you don't make $100,000 a year does not mean that you don't deserve that Michael Kors purse. Girl, if you got it, you got it. Like, and I don't know. Look, I'm getting mad all over again. It just upsets me that, you feel what I'm saying, people, they can't look past their own situations. And so then they talk down in my comments and they have people really believe in them. Like, oh, shit, I don't got to do that. And this not going to work for me and whatever. Like, it really irritates me, because you never know what blessing you could be blocking for somebody else. Hey, girl. It just really irritates me. Uncouth is an amazing word. Listen, it took me a minute to come up with it. Oh, I love you too. Thank you, girl. I really wanted to touch on that. Other than that, I really don't have any big issues, but that was definitely one of those housekeeping things, because I'm honestly, and I hate blocking people, but I'm going to have to start blocking people for being negative, because that's not what we're here for. This is also another reason why I always kind of steer people towards the Facebook group, because in the Facebook group, I can control what kind of people we allow in there, the kind of comments that you guys have access to, and things like that. And so I'm very, very hell-bent. I don't care if it takes me 10 days to go through requests. I want this to be a safe space for you all, because everybody don't have the money to pay for credit repair services, and that's fine, but it doesn't mean that you should not have good credit. And so with the Facebook group and with my TikTok and my Instagram and all these other platforms that I'm on, shout out to Twitch and YouTube, I want you all to feel comfortable and to feel safe enough to ask me these questions without fearing that someone's going to ridicule you or talk down on you and things like that. Get a moderator on here. They control your chat. It's usually not on the lives that I have issues. It's more so the comments on my videos. That's where I see the most discord. For the most part, I very rarely have issues when I'm live with people leaving like unnecessary comments or something like that. But yeah, I spent the past couple of days listening to your advice on TikTok. I just want to say thank you. You walk through everything. It's amazing. Oh, you're so welcome. Listen, I love hearing these. I love when you guys tell me how much value you're finding in my content. Oh, that makes me feel good. Don't make me cry. Y'all made me cry on here one time. We ain't doing it today, okay? But yeah, that's what I want for you all. Just because you don't have the money doesn't mean, you shouldn't be able to fix your credit. Literally, I tell people all the time, I'm a regular person who do regular people shit. I drive a Honda Odyssey. I got a bunch of kids. I shop at, Walmart and Target. I'm not, you don't see me posed in front of a Rolls Royce. I'm not taking pictures and photos in front of a Ferrari or outside of somebody's Airbnb. You see what I'm saying? I want people to understand that good credit is not just for the affluent. Good credit is for regular fucking people. It doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter what you look like. Everybody can have good credit. You just have to know where to look. And it's crazy, for Black History Month, we've had this discussion, and I made a couple like little guest appearances on podcasts recently, and we made the discussion that, I love to read. And they always used to say, if you want to hide something from Black people, put it in a book. And I tell people all the time, I read the book so that you don't have to. Every book that I've read, every class that I paid for, every workshop I've attended, every note that I took, I try to package it into these 15 and 30 and 60-second videos for you guys so that you don't have to find these books. You can just kind of bookmark these videos and then go back and review them later, or save them, or email me. There's a million ways to get in contact with me, and sometimes it does get a little overwhelming. Answer everybody's questions in a timely manner. There are people who be like, well, girl, I emailed this 2 weeks ago. But I do what I can because I know what that's like. I know what it's like not having anybody to turn to and things like that. Uh-oh, don't do me like this, TikTok. There we go. Hold on. So it's going to storm here, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to go live early, because I don't know if the storm's going to knock the power out. And if that's the case, then I wanted to make sure that I got a chance to go live today. So yeah, that was that. Let me see. Oh no. Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure, because on my screen it's frozen. The service you get for free is invaluable. Like, seriously helping people in difficult situations. You're a dude. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much, man. Listen, I genuinely love what I do, and I genuinely love providing this content for you guys. So as long as you guys still have questions, as long as you guys, still have things that you want to know, need to know, I'm going to be here making that content for y'all. That's my personal guarantee. All right, so let's break down some of these questions I got this week. All right, let's see. All right, first up. So I posted a video today a little while ago talking about pay to delete. And a lot of people didn't understand the concepts around the pay to deletes because, TikTok will have you believe that if you pay collections, then no. There we go. All right, first up. So TikTok will have you believe that if you pay collections, then, you're hurting your credit. And it's not that you're hurting your credit. You've already hurt your credit, right? But how you pay collections is very important for you to understand. Man, can somebody comment on TikTok and tell me if it's freezing for you guys? Because it's freezing for me on my laptop and on my phone. So if it's freezing for you on TikTok, can you let me know? And then I'll back out and then I'll just go live regular. You know what? I'll just do it anyway. I'll back out and go live on my phone. Is it going crazy on TikTok? No? Okay. All right. Well, if y'all can still see me. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it ride. The minute y'all start cutting out and stuff, somebody put it in the comments and I'll just go live from my phone. So I'm not going to be able to see my video on TikTok. So if I look stupid, don't mind me. Question. Once you pay to delete, you can still get fined. It can still show up later. So no. So that's the cool thing about pay to delete. So how it works is, and this only works with collection accounts. So it's very important that you guys understand the difference between charge-offs and collections. So with collection accounts, you can do what is called a pay to delete, which is where you negotiate like, hey, I'll give you a portion or all of the money that I owe you in exchange for you not reporting to the credit bureaus anymore. And the biggest part of this is that you want to get that in writing, right? You want to get because anything in writing on that company's letterhead signed by an authorized representative for the company is considered a legally binding document. So I don't like calling, but I know how y'all are. So if you call, you want them to send you an email while you're still on the phone, right? Guaranteeing that once you pay, they'll stop reporting to the credit bureaus and the account will disappear. That piece of paper is your golden ticket, because if it ever repopulates, that is considered a violation of your rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and you can sue. Now, here's the thing about pay to deletes though. Not every company is going to do it. Or maybe your offer, if you're not offering 100% of what you owe, is low. So it's a negotiation. So make sure you guys are going back and forth. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the company has, the right to say, no, I'm not doing a pay to delete. And that's fine. You already lost the points for the collection, right? Paying the balance will improve the health of your credit profile, but it won't improve your credit score. You can still rebuild on top of that collection. A lot of you are obsessed with the idea or the notion that you have to have a squeaky clean credit report, and that's not always the case. I've known people, for those of you who watched the YouTube video, or if you caught it live, where we talked about home buying, right? We partnered with the mortgage mentor, Rebecca Richardson, and she was talking about how people can buy homes in Chapter 13 bankruptcies. You do not have to have a pristinely clean credit report in order to get things. You just have to make sure that the lenders you are going to are very, clear about what their requirements are. For home buying, right? She talked about the difference between actually being a requirement and if it's an overlay or something that this particular lender requires. So make sure you do your research when it comes to researching who you're going to go through to get certain things. So credit cards, mortgages, car loans, things like that. Do your research. Maybe that lender that you've been eyeing for years that's telling you you're not good enough, maybe that's not the lender for you, and there is somebody out there who can work with you. But the only way you're going to know is if you kind of go out and start asking questions. But I still agree that settling should be your very last option, but you should not pay collections. Does that make sense? I know a lot of these videos are telling you, oh, you can get these removed without having to pay. Text credit to 66466 or DM me asking me how. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Just because you get it taken off your credit does not mean that you no longer owe. And that's just that on that. Just because you get it taken off does not absolve you of the debt that is owed. If it is a valid debt, you still owe, and that can actually lead to you getting sued and wage garnishments. I've been helping my boyfriend. That's why I'm doing so much research. We paid the full amount online. Does that mean it's not deleted? If you did not get the guarantee that upon your payment, they will cease reporting to the credit bureaus, then you did not get a pay to delete. Another thing you can do is look at the company's policies. Usually it'll be listed on their website where they'll tell you whether or not, they're going to delete the item. Let's see. I received a notification about the T-Mobile information breach that happened in 2019. Would you lock your credit? So I have been a victim of identity theft multiple times. I was working for the government during the big OPM breach back in the day, right? When the government leaked all y'all shit. I was there too. They got my fingerprints. They got everything about me, and I mean everything. And so because I wasn't planning on making any major purchases anytime soon, I froze my credit because it just makes the most sense. I also maintained credit monitoring. So I've had credit monitoring since like the early 2010s. A lot of people be like, that's unnecessary. I'm not spending all that money, but it gives me that peace of mind because I have what is known as dark web monitoring. So whenever my information pops up on the dark web, I'm prepared. For example, a couple weeks ago, I got a dark web monitoring alert saying that my debit card information and my social security number was found online. I was supposed to do it, never froze my stuff, including my debit cards. It just completely slipped my mind. Next thing I know, I'm in the Facebook group like, y'all not gonna believe how somebody just tried to spend $700 using my card information in Michael's. And then and it was all of my cards. I'm talking my my business credit cards, my business debit cards, my personal debit cards, a credit card. Like, they hit me hard. But if I had the monitoring, if I would have went ahead and froze my stuff then, I probably wouldn't have been in that situation. So there's that. But I personally, if you are not going to make any large purchases no time soon, then I would freeze your credit for the foreseeable future. And then once you start applying for stuff, you can unfreeze it and then just keep a close eye on it. But I highly suggest, if you have been notified of any breach of your information, that you get a credit monitoring subscription, because it is invaluable. It's a lot more than just being able to track your credit score. A lot of these companies offer perks like the dark web monitoring and things like that. Girl, these card crackers don't take a day off, so you can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Somebody else asked me, what is the difference between a charge-off and a collection? It's a really good question. So a charge-off is when you owe debt. We're going to use Capital One as an example. So let's say you had a card with Capital One, you stopped paying, the account was closed, and you now have a balance. The account is closed off or charged off. That is a status that they'll put on your account, one, to save them money because they can write it off as a loss for their company, right? But it also lets you know that they're not going to be adding any more charges to your account. What you see is what you owe. Now, once an account enters a charge-off status, the company now has two options. They can hold on to the debt and keep pursuing you for it, or they could sell the debt to a debt collection company. Once that debt is sold to a debt collection company, it now becomes a collection. So now you lost points for having the charge off. You're going to lose even more points for the collection, because the charge off can still report once they sell the debt. It's just that the balance that you owed now reflects a zero because you no longer owe them directly anymore. You now owe this new company. And yes, it is completely legal for collection companies to buy your debt and then pursue you for it. I saw that floating around here too. It's kind of weird, but it is completely legal for a debt collection to buy the rights to collect on your debt, and you no longer owe the original company. Now, the FCRA states that a company has the right to report all of the past history associated with this account. So because the charge-off was with Capital One is going to report the entire history of the account, including all of your on-time payments, any missed payments, and the actual charge-off. They're not going to remove that. You can't do a pay to delete for that because legally they are authorized and kind of obligated to report the history associated with this account. Now, with these collection companies don't have history, right? There is no history because you don't have a monthly payment due with them. Excuse me. You don't have a monthly payment due with them, right? So, there is no history. All you'll see is that you have a balance and and you owe this company. Now, collections and pay to deletes go hand in hand because that's only one thing that they got to delete. One payment or, lack of a payment or whatever it is. It's not reporting consistently every month. It reports one time and any time that you update, and that's it. It's not reporting every month as if it has a monthly payment due. So them not reporting anymore, it's super easy. It's just as simple as saying, hey, delete that shit. Hang up. It's literally that easy for them to erase that information. So, and that's usually why they do it. Now, if you've already paid off a collection and you want it removed, again, there's no incentive for the company to do so because technically you already paid. So they don't really have to, if you want to be honest. But, it never hurts to ask questions. I tell my clients all the time, you do not lose points for asking questions. And if that doesn't work, you can always try to attack the validity of the debt in the first place. But then that kind of goes deeper and deeper and deeper and could lead to a lawsuit, you suing them if it comes out that the debt was never valid in the first place. Can I remove a charge off if it's been paid? Let's talk about that for a second. So, hold on. Do you know anything about the company PAM? I do not. I've never had to work with them. Yes, charge-offs are with the original company. Pay to deletes only work with collections. Got it. So let's talk about removing charge-offs. So first off, like I said, with a charge-off, it's reporting all of the history associated with your account. A lot of people see the charge-off status and it's costing them a couple points and things like that, and they just want it gone. But what you're not realizing is you're going to lose all of the history associated with this account, not just the charge-off. So any on-time payments you had, remember how your credit score is calculated, right? So 35% of your credit score is on-time payment history. 30% is credit card utilization. 15% is length of credit history. So how long have you been building credit? 10% is mix of accounts. 10% is inquiries. So if you're removing a charge off, you're removing the on-time payments. You're going to lose the length of credit history and you're going to lose the mix of accounts, right? Because the number of accounts that you have is going to go down. So it actually might cost you more points removing it than it does for you to leave it on your credit. You got to really evaluate where your profile stands in order to just see if it's worth deleting. I have a $53 medical debt that posted on my credit report out of nowhere. What can I do? Medical debt is super, super easy to get rid of. The majority of these medical debt collectors do pay to deletes. And the thing about the pay to delete is you're not accepting ownership of the debt, right? You're not saying this is my debt, I get it. What you're saying is, look, I'm not accepting ownership of this debt, but you're reporting it and I want it gone. So if I give you a couple dollars, can you take it off? So you'll offer them a pay to delete, right? So it's only $53. So you'll offer them the $53 in exchange for them to cease reporting to the credit bureaus. If they don't agree, hit their ass with a debt validation. Now they got to prove that not only you owe that debt and that a debt is owed, but that they didn't violate HIPAA in the reporting of this debt. Boom. I have to go to court with Santander on the 13th. What should I say? So I ain't gonna lie to you. I have to go to court in April with LVNV. For an account that's not even mine. That's what's so crazy. So Here's the thing. When you go to court, you keep the same energy that y'all be having in these letters. Do not let these people intimidate you just because they're lawyers, right? That's why you study these laws. You go to court and you force them to do a debt validation in that courtroom. You force them to produce a copy of the contract that you signed that ties you to that debt. And if they haven't, all right, fuck it. All right, y'all got it. Y'all won fair and square. We can enter negotiations. What I would suggest for you is to take things that, maybe some pay stubs, maybe go get a budget done with your bank, like an official budget, something you can print out and take to court so that you can present it to the court as like a justification of your means. So that way, if they try to enter some kind of, wage garnishment, well, they're not going to do a wage garnishment because you're there. But if the court orders you to pay this, you can get the court to dictate how much you pay a month based on what your current income and expenses are. What is the credit score to be approved for a house? That changes, right? That's a variable. That's not a fixed number. A lot goes into that. So where do you live? What is the market like? What kind of loan do you want? What kind of house are you looking for? Like, all of that kind of ties into that particular question. But I do have a video on YouTube. It's called The Tea on Home Buying. And that is a really good video for you to watch because I talk with a senior mortgage consultant and she's licensed in like 20 states. I was about to say countries. She's licensed in about 20 states and her contact information is in the description. And you can get in contact with her so that she can answer all your questions. I hear about medical bills, student loans, repos. What about unpaid parking citations? So let me tell y'all a quick story about me, right? So a couple years ago, I had just got out of the Army. I was struggling. This was the first time I got out of the Army. So this was around like 2014. And let me tell y'all, if you've ever lived in Baltimore, because that's where I'm from, I was flying through the tolls every day. Because I was going to this job, daycare, this. Because I was just trying to do what I can. And I never paid those tolls. Bruh. Years later, they slapped that shit right on my thing. And I don't understand why they never took my fucking taxes. They just slapped it on my credit and was like, so what you gonna do about it? They was looking at me like Diddy was looking at that dude on stage. But ultimately, once I contacted the company directly, I forgot what the name was, like M. Dot or some shit. Not the M. Dot, damn. I forgot the company that owns Easy Pass. But once I got into contact with them and set up a payment arrangement, or at least made a payment, I had to make a lump sum payment because they was not taking arrangements. But once I made a payment, I negotiated with them directly for them to stop reporting on my credit. But again, that's just going to take some communication for sure. And at the end of the day, understand this. If you do not get it removed, now what's your plan of action? A lot of people, they start disputing with the notion that it's going to be deleted and I'm never going to have to worry about this again. But sometimes that doesn't happen, right? It's a 50-50 chance that you're going to get this shit deleted. So what are you going to do in the event that that doesn't happen, right? You can build on top of a collection, on top of a charge-off, on top of a bankruptcy, right? You can build on top of these things in the event that you can't get it removed. I hate when I talk to people and they sound so defeated because something didn't get deleted. Okay, and now what? Now what are you going to do, right? You can still build credit. It's just going to take you a little longer. That's it. I'm not reading that comment, girl. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm catching up on comments, y'all. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Markia. I'm known as the Money Plug here on social media. I'm a board-certified credit repair specialist and credit score consultant. And I use my platform to teach you guys all about credit, right? I teach you what credit is, how to read your credit reports. I teach you the credit protection laws that you need to know if you're going to be building credit. I teach you how to fix it yourself. Easy Pass always been on bullshit. Bro, and you know what's so crazy, bro? This was back when the tolls was like $2. But they tack on like a $50 administration fee when you don't pay it. So then every trip there and back was costing me like $200. Bruh, I was so upset. But I never made that mistake again, I tell you that. I already applied for my disabled veteran tags. I'm not paying no more tolls. I'm not playing. But yeah, so if you're watching on TikTok, make sure you follow me. But I'm also available on Instagram at The Money Plug, so THEE Money Plug. I'm also on YouTube at WWTMPD, What Would the Money Plug Do? And I'm on Facebook, right? So my Facebook page is The Money Plug, LLC. You'll see me. And under groups, I have a group that you can join for help with your credit. You'll see 2 groups, and the other group isn't really being used yet. we'll talk about that at a later date. But the other group that you're going to want to join, it's called Plugged In, the Credit Clubhouse. We're almost at 2,000 people. So, you know, come in, invite your friends, you know, ask your questions. I really want to create kind of an environment of inclusivity. I want everybody to feel as though they can ask their questions and actually get an answer, right? I try my best to stay on top of the group and the notifications to make sure that everybody's question is answered. Nobody is more valued than the other person. Everybody has an equal footing in this group. I don't do disrespect. I don't do advertising. We do not promote CPNs or the purchase of trade lines or things like that. We are doing CROA compliant credit repair in that group, right? And it's for my DIYers, or even if you have hired somebody and you just want to be nosy, right? Or you need credit building skills. The group is definitely open for you. So come on. Do you have any knowledge on if Credit One will remove a late payment on an open account? So I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not had personal success with getting a late payment removed that was not reported in error. However, that's not to say that it can't be done. It all depends on the relationship you have with the lender, and honestly, who looks at your account that day. But if a goodwill letter don't work, for those of you who have an open account with a late payment and a goodwill letter don't work, there's another way that you can try to finesse them to update the late payment to pay it as agreed, right? So how are late payments reported? So a little while ago, somebody commented on one of my videos saying that late payments are illegal. And I disproved why it is not. And you can kind of use this same law to force them to prove that they did not violate it, right? So late payments are only illegal if the company cannot produce proof that they provided you with your monthly statement no less than 21 days before the payment was actually due. So if you force Credit One, like, yo, prove to me that this payment was late, or prove to me that you had the right to report this late payment, right? So you'll have to do some research. Go look at the statement date on your monthly statements. Remember, all of your monthly statements are available online. So go pull up your monthly statements for that month and see if it was in fact 21 days or more from your actual payment due date. Now, if it was, all right, fuck it, move on to the next thing. What you're going to do is you're going to request a copy of your payment history, and you're going to ask them to produce any proof that they had that you were actually late and that it wasn't the system that just registered it incorrectly. Remember, whatever they can't prove, they have to change. The burden of proof is on them, not you. Does the goodwill letter go to the corporate office or customer service? So they only accept mail to one place, usually when they're doing disputes. It doesn't matter where you send it, as long as you have the right information on the envelope. So, hey, if you have to put the address and then put like attention consumer dispute department, that works. They'll make sure it gets to the right place. But you're definitely going to want to, send it both places. I'll be sending that shit everywhere, let me tell you. And then I'm gonna keep sending it until you answer me too. Thank you so much. Seriously amazing. I can't wait to show my boyfriend this video later today. I'm gonna tell him, look, I got all the answers we needed. You're so welcome. You are so welcome. But goodwill letters work, but it's all about the relationship you have with that lender. So if you don't have the best relationship with them, yeah, they're going to tell you kiss their ass. I'm going to be honest. Shit, Capital One told me no 3 times before they told me yes. So that's another thing. Don't just give up. Yo, don't just allow them to tell you no and you just eat that. Make sure you keep trying. And do not go straight to the CEO. I hate when people do that. A lot of people... And listen, a hit dog gonna holler every time. So if I'm talking to you, you gonna know I'm talking to you. A lot of people try to circumvent the process, right? They're like, why would I go straight here when y'all got the CEO email list and I can just email the CEO directly? There's a system, right? Everything is designed for to work in a specific way. You're supposed to go to the regular little people and ask them, hey, bro, can you delete this for me? Let them tell you no a couple times, take all of your responses and a heartfelt story, and then send it to the CEO so these niggas can feel bad for you, right? This is also why a lot of people would try to skip the debt verification process when disputing. And I get it, you don't want to be waiting a long period of time, but I also have to humble people because you didn't mess your credit up overnight. So stop expecting overnight results, or stop expecting super fast responses, right? So stop skipping the debt verification process, because the thing about disputing, when you're factually disputing, you are either shooting for the deletion or collecting information that will help you when it is time for you to file your complaint with the CFPB. And all of these letters, this system that we're telling you to use, it will work in your favor when done properly, right? If done properly and the account is really giving what you're saying is giving when you're talking to us, this is going to work for you. But you can't keep skipping the system. Why'd they say no, or is that too personal? No, they just told me no. They just thought I was like, sorry, this isn't something we can do. Per the FCRA, we are allowed to report late payments, and you were late. That's what it said. And they kept telling me no and kept telling me no. So what I did was, I contacted I sent an email to the CEO. And I was like, look, man, I've been a customer with you guys for years. I was like, I have 2 credit cards and an account, or like a checking account with you guys. I've recommended you to people because, you know, when you get that little link, I be sending my shit out, okay? I was like, I've recommended people to you over the years. Like, I speak very highly of your company. I was like, and it's just mind-boggling to me that the one late, because I literally had 1 late payment on both credit cards for the same month. I was like, I can't get 1 late payment forgiven. Like, that's very disheartening. I was like, you know, it's for somebody who's been spending so much money with this company over the years. I don't know. It's really making me feel like I'm not valued as a customer. I'm not valued as a client. And that maybe I should start looking elsewhere for service. Bro, what? I literally got a phone call probably 2 days later. And they talked to me and they said how this is a one-time thing. They will never be able to do this for me again. But they will go ahead and update my late payments to paid as agreed. They thanked me for my service because I was in the military. They thanked me for my service. They was like, oh, you know, you've been a client with us even before the military. That's crazy. Like, we love you. Please don't go. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I leveraged my relationship with them to get this deletion. But if you don't have that same rapport with them, if you don't have a similar relationship, you're not going to have similar results. Does that make sense? That's very important. A lot of people will be late yesterday and then come to me like, oh, well, not yesterday. They'll be late last month and then come to me like, well, I want to get it deleted. What I got to do? First of all, you need to have another history of on-time payments because you say that it's an anomaly, but you can't prove it, right? How do they know you're not going to be late this month too? And next month and next month? You have to reestablish that trust. You have to reestablish a pattern of positive payment history, right? So once you're late, don't be late no more. Keep staying on time. Keep being positive and things like that. That way, you can be like, look, it was an anomaly. You know, my hours got cut at work. It will never happen again. I've never had this issue with you before, and you will never have this issue out of me again, right? And you got behavior to back you up. Yes, merit and relationship. This also goes back to the conversation that caused a little trouble on TikTok when I said that you should be paying interest on some of these purchases. And I'm not saying paying $100 in interest because don't get me wrong, I know that most of the people who follow me, your interest rates on your credit cards are really high. But what I'm saying is if you pay your balances down to less than 10% with about 5 business days before your statement date, right? Let's say, like I said, $1,000. You got a $1,000 card. This is the only card that you have. And you pay your balance all the way down to $5. Allow them to charge you interest on that $5. After your statement date, you will pay all of that off, and it's going to be your due date, right? So after your statement date is usually your due date, like 3 days later, right? So after you pay your statement, go back. You're going to be making a payment for the following statement, right? So how it works, I wish I had a chart in here. Freak. Oh, look at me. I didn't cuss that time. Oh, okay, I can show y'all here. Hold on. Let me get a pen. That's not a pen. All right, this will work. Let me show y'all how it works, right? So January, February, March, right? So it's January, February, March. So let's say your billing cycle is 31 days. You have 31 days in your billing. We'll say 30. You have 30 days in your billing cycle. So from January 1st to the 30th, that is one billing cycle. Now, 5 business days before the 30th, you are going to want to make a payment to your credit card, right? Paying it all the way down to less than 10%. So again, going back to that $1,000 credit card, right? You're going to pay it down, leave like $5 on it. Now, after the end of this billing cycle, that's why it's always a gap before your first payment is due, right? After the end of your billing cycle, a new billing cycle starts. So remember, it's 30 days. So even though February only has 29 this year, even though February only has 29, March 1st makes 30th. So now your next billing cycle is from February 1st to March 1st. But sometime in February, you're going to get your very first bill for January. It's usually going to be around like February 11th, February 12th, something like that. You'll get your very first bill for January, and the payment is going to be due on whatever date. I never pay attention to that date because it's always supposed to be paid before that. You will pay 5 business days before the end of this billing cycle. Now, after you make your payment and this day passes, you can pay the card off. Pay it off. Have a zero balance because it's not going to report again until March 1st. Remember, your billing cycle is 30 days. So the calendar day may change all the time, but how many days in your billing cycle will never change. So then on March 1st, it's going to report this next billing cycle. And you're going to pay 5 business days before this, which is going to end up in February, right after what would originally be your payment due date for the first card. Does that make sense? So you'll still be paying your credit card off. It's just when you're paying it off is going to be the difference. By allowing these companies to charge you interest, again, you're building the relationship that you have with them. Remember, the more money they make off of you, the more you're using all of their services, the more that they find value in the relationship you have. There are certain things that they will overlook for you. For example, removing these late payments for you. Or extending when your payment is due, or changing your payment due date, or allowing you to apply and actually qualify for higher tier cards, even though your score may not be the best, or your profile may not be the best, because you have such an amazing relationship with them. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about that. I'm sorry, I didn't see these questions. Is it in the best interest for us to delete full payments to collections? Yes. Because that's the only way to get those points back. Remember, with collection accounts, you don't lose points for how much you have in collections. You lose points for having collections in the first place. So the goal is always to remove the entire collection account from your credit report. Is dispute the same as delete? No, not necessarily, but disputing can lead to a deletion. But disputing is what you do to get the deletion. It's not necessarily deleting it. I have a credit card that charges high annual fees. Should I keep it? So let's talk about what makes a good credit card, right? Because I get this question all the time. Oh my God, what cards do you recommend? Like, what cards should I get? I'm a college student, or I'm a single mom, I'm a stay-at-home dad. Like, what cards would be best for me? The only person who can answer that question for you is you, right? The very first thing you should look at when looking at a credit card is, does this align with my current spending habits? So for example, and I always use this example, I tell people all the time, I don't care how easy it is to get some of these cards. Some of them just do not serve a purpose. So for example, I am 5'10", about 150 pounds soaking wet, if that, right? So I'm very slim, right? I would not get a card for Torrid or a card for Lane Bryant. I can't fit nothing in the fucking store. It makes no sense for me to have that card, no matter how easy it is for me to get that card. Understand? You should only have cards that you're actually going to be using. You'll see the people on social media with those giant stacks of credit cards, and those people are fucking idiots, and I guarantee you they are not using these cards the proper way. Only get credit cards that support your current spending habits, or the spending habits you're trying to have, right? Number 2, start at your home bank. Clearly you like this bank because you've been banking with them for a while. So see what options they have for you. Plus, remember, you already have a relationship with them. So you never know what they'll offer you when it's time for you to start looking at credit cards. Number 3, right? Let's look at the perks, right? What kind of perks is it giving? You got to first think about what kind of perks you like, right? Are you a miles girl? Are you a cash back? Are you a points kind of girl? Like, what you doing? Like, you got to picture the lifestyle you want to live and the things you want to have, and then you're going to see, okay, is this card going to get me there? Once you consider all of these things, that is going to tell you whether or not that annual fee for that card is worth it. Because just because it has an annual fee doesn't mean it's a bad card. Look at Amex. Amex got a high as hell annual fee, but they pay it because it's worth it. You have to see what you value first in order to see if these cards have the values that you need to, for your financial future. So I can recommend all the cards I want to you guys. However, if it's not in alignment with what you're already doing or what you're reaching for, it's not going to work out for you. That's just the fact, that's just the truth. How do I negotiate with a collection agency? Over the phone or by mail? So I do everything by mail because that's considered a legally binding document. Once they, put something on their letterhead and send it to me, that is considered a legally binding document. However, I do get that some people just, they need convenience, girl. Y'all on the go. Y'all got shit to do. When you go over the phone and you're negotiating, as long as the final terms of that contract is sent to you in writing, usually by email, and it says everything you need it to say, then go for it. What other questions y'all got for me today? I should have went live on Instagram too. I wasn't even thinking. Let's see. What other questions you guys got for me? Oh, you know what? I literally can just go on my phone since I'm not on live on Instagram, and I can read some of the questions I get. Let's see. Let's see. What should you do if you ask for a pay to delete and they say, oh, we just do paid in full? Oh, okay. So that's the same thing as getting your pay to delete removed. So if they tell you no, I mean, you really don't have a choice but to either continue negotiating in the hopes that you'll offer them some more attractive terms, or ultimately you'll just have to settle and take the L. Okay, so is the dispute correspondence is the action of getting validation and verification. Those are two different things, correct? Yes. Verification and validation are two different things. The credit bureaus verify, the debt collectors or the original creditors validate. So a creditor validates, the credit bureaus verify. And a dispute is the correspondence in order to get those things, either a verification or a validation. Removal of bankruptcy. So removing bankruptcies is relatively easy, but a lot of people don't understand how it works. Technically, your bankruptcy will still exist. If you was to pull up Pacer, your bankruptcy would still be there. And you know what? I'm actually able to, because I'm live using StreamYard, shout out to TikTok Live's desktop feature, but I can actually show, oh, this is not the right computer. Damn. If I was on my other computer, I could show y'all what it looked like. Let me show y'all. How many points are given after inquiries fall off? There's no set amount of points for any one particular thing. So know that. So it really just depends on your entire profile as a whole. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can pull up Pacer. Pacer.gov. That just reminded me. Find a case. Search by specific court. Pacer login. Let's see. U.S. I'm going to look in Maryland. Let's look in Maryland District Court. So what you do is when you log on to Pacer, right? All right. Oh, it's unavailable. What? Oh, click here. Okay, so Maryland is giving me the runaround. We're going to go back. I'll look at the appellate court. So like you can get down and dirty and see like everybody's details with their bankruptcy. So this is what it looks like when you first get on. Damn, that ring light. Hold on, let me move this. I'm gonna move this ring light a little bit. All right. So can you see it? Kinda. Okay, I'm just gonna move this completely. All right. So this is what it'll look like, right? Pacer case locator. So if you've ever filed bankruptcy, I literally can pull it up right here and it'll be able to tell me. And not only will I be able to see that you filed bankruptcy, but I will also be able to see all of the documents included in your bankruptcy. Because again, a bankruptcy is public record. It's not a secret, right? And anybody can register for Pacer Access, guys. So, if you want, just because you nosy like me, child, register for a Pacer account. It's completely free. And you pacer.gov, pacer.gov is the website. She said I should write a book because I dumbed it down so good. You go to pacer.gov and you'll still be able to see your bankruptcy there. By removing a bankruptcy, what we are actually doing is restricting the credit bureau's access to that public information, right? So that's something I really want you guys to understand because certain people will still be able to see your bankruptcy. So you should still disclose it, right? Now, when it comes to removing your bankruptcy, pretty much what you're going to do for those of you who don't know, the credit bureaus get a lot of their information from third parties, right? So the third parties they take all this information that's either reported to them or public information. They compile it all together, and then they give the big three the information that applies to them, but they'll keep everything else. So by restricting the credit bureau's access to these third-party reporting agencies, it makes it so that they can't validate the information that they have reporting to your credit report. This is why a lot of people will freeze their credit reports, or they will opt out of like LexisNexis and all that stuff before they start reporting. Before they start disputing. That doesn't solve anything, right? You're not actually successfully disputing it. You're hiding the information. And so that's what people are doing. They are hiding their bankruptcy so that they qualify for more things. And it works. Don't get me wrong. It works. But I just really want you guys to understand that if somebody was to still search for you on Pacer, your information is still going to pop up. I'm thinking about doing this over the phone, but having them email me while we're talking. I know paper trail is everything. Yes. Is it true about the new FICO 10T? Apparently, it's the new way to report credit. So I'm going to be honest with y'all. This shit ain't new. FICO 10T was supposed to come out in 2020. Was it 2020? Yeah, it was 2020. It was supposed to come out in 2020 and it never did. Like, nobody heard anything about it, but it's so funny because I've started seeing more and more like articles and like breakdowns and stuff about it. And so it's the latest and greatest way to calculate your credit score. So you know what? I'm going to put together I'll do that tonight. I'm not fucking doing anything tonight. When I come back from the movies, I will do a video for you guys, and then I'll break it down on TikTok into a series so that you guys can save it. It's not something that I'm just saying on the live and then you don't have access to it anymore. I'll write that down so I don't forget, actually. I'll write it down so that you guys will have the video and you can actually go back and have that for you. So do a video breaking down FICO 10T because all of my 10T content is probably super buried. FICO 10T. Okay. I'll do a video for you guys. And then if you're in a Facebook group, I'll do a post breaking down some resources for you guys to, go and review. Because y'all know how I am. Fact check everything, including the shit that I'm saying. Fact check everybody. Trust no one. So I'll have a couple resources and stuff for you guys available in the Facebook group. Give me to the end of the weekend. Y'all know how I get on Fridays. So give me to the end of the weekend. I don't know, y'all. It's looking, I don't know. It was really weird outside today. It was like 70 degrees outside. But you could just feel like the air was charged, like it's gonna be a storm or something. I don't know. I hope it ain't here. Hell. What else y'all got for me? What other questions y'all got for me? And if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you guys follow me. My name is Markia. I'm known as the Money Plug on social media. I'm a board certified credit repair specialist and credit score consultant. And I use my platform to educate you all, right? I am a credit repair specialist, so I do fix credit. But unfortunately, some people can't afford that, right? Some people do not have the funds to fix credit, or maybe they don't trust people. Maybe they've been burned before. So what I do is I go ahead and put all the information that you need to do it yourself here on social media. I'm literally live right now on Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Usually I'm on Instagram as well. Wait, will this live video save on YouTube? Yes, the video will save on YouTube. So if you guys came late to the TikTok, the video will be saved live on YouTube. Once I'm off, you'll be able to go back and watch it. And if you're on Facebook, you'll be able to see it as well. The video does save. Unfortunately, TikTok don't give me that luxury. So I try to always make sure I'm on a platform that will allow me to save it for those of you who are on TikTok. When do you think a person should ask for an increase on their credit limit? So let's talk about how you even get credit limit increases, right? And why didn't they just give you that balance to begin with? So companies will give you, they will give you whatever credit limit, like as a test. All right, how you gonna do with this? If you've managed it properly, if your score has either consistently gone up or maybe you just consistently show that you're good at this, right? Managing this particular account and managing your credit overall. Because remember, they look at your overall credit, not just the account. Now, if you're doing good and everything's working out, they'll give you a credit limit increase. However, with that same token, if you get a credit card and even though you're paying the card on time, everything else surrounding your credit goes to shit, right? Everything else starts tanking, your score starts dropping. That company now has the right to close your account and not give or severely limit your credit limit to protect their investment, right? So you can do it whenever, as long as you feel like you meet the qualifications. You can apply literally after you get it if you want. Some obviously some different companies have different policies. I think most say like 3 months, but outside of their policies, there's really no restriction. Hello, I'm new here and I wanted to know, is it possible to remove late payments? Yeah, we actually talked about it a lot earlier. It is totally possible to remove late payments. Now, how you remove those late payments kind of depends. And you also have to understand, and like I touched on it a little bit earlier, a lot of people think that just because something is supposed to happen, it's going to happen, and that's not always the case. If the American justice system hasn't taught you anything, it has taught me that what's supposed to happen isn't going to happen. So even though there are items that should get you a deletion, even though you have a case, you also have to understand that these companies have the right to try to fix it, right? It is their duty to attempt to rectify the situation or remove the accounts. So some companies will, not necessarily saying for the late payments, but some companies will choose to update instead of removing because they have the information that you gave them as evidence that they needed to update the account. And so now that they've updated the account is in compliance, they don't have to remove. Does that make sense? Now with late payments, it all depends on, is it open and closed? Do you have a good relationship with this lender? What have you done so far? Like if you've already tried to dispute to remove the late payments, like a lot of things kind of tie into that. What if they already gave you an increase, but I want more money? Can I still ask? You sure the fuck can? And sometimes they'll tell you, look, you maxed out for this card, but you qualify for this card over here. You trying to apply or nah? That's what they'll tell you. Your view on 1099-C in a repo. Is it possible? Is what possible? What are you asking me? Okay, so let's talk about repossessions, right? I hate when people ask me incomplete questions. So let's talk about a repossession, right? First of all, I hate disputing repossessions, right? I hate disputing repossessions because a lot of people don't understand the gravity of a dispute. When you are disputing something that you owe money to, at any point in time, these people could be like, you know what? I don't even want to fucking talk to you no more. I'll see you in court. And they will sue you. Now, with repossessions, this is high dollar debt, usually, in the thousands or the tens of thousands. And so this is considered a high dollar debt, right? So in the event that you go to dispute, and not only is it validated, but now you've pissed them off, they can take you to court now and sue you for it. Repossessions are the most sued, these are the most accounts that you'll see people getting sued over. Literally, if you search, that's what you'll see. Now, when it comes to debt, period, right? Whenever you settle, what a lot of people don't understand is that when you settle, the money that you didn't pay is now considered income. And they will give you a 1099 at the end of the year that you're supposed to include with your taxes. And that money is considered income because technically you didn't pay it, right? You got to keep that money in your pocket. So it's considered income. And so with repossessions, that it'd be for some thousands and thousands of dollars they trying to say that you all had considered as income. And so with repossessions, I typically tell people if you can't get it removed and you have no plans on paying it, like if you don't have a rock solid case before you start disputing and you have no fucking intentions on paying it, leave it the fuck alone. Leave it alone. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had a repossession. My car got repossessed in 2014 and I never paid it. Ever. I'm not saying do that. What I'm saying is I never paid it. And I built my credit back up. That's all I'm gonna say. Now keep in mind you also gotta understand what your statute of limitations are for your state. And like how they can pursue you for the debt and how to finesse and finagle so that they can't sue you before the statute of limitations expires. Because then once the statute of limitations expires, I no longer care. I waited for it to fall off. It all depends on what state you live in, your state regulations regarding how long companies have to sue you, and the repossession process in your state. I'm just gonna be 1,000% honest with you. Only touch a repossession if you have no problem making a payment or paying it off in the event that that dispute does not go in your favor. Otherwise, you're going to end up in court. And what I mean by make sure you have a case before you start disputing is this is why it's really important for you guys to understand the consumer protection laws, because you should be able to look at how your account is reporting or request copies of all the information that they have pertaining to your debt. And you'd be able to look at that as a whole, and that should tell you whether or not this is a valid debt or not. If you don't understand if it's a valid debt or not, then like you should not be disputing. Maybe get a second look at it. Like, you could literally send me your, like, look, bro, this is what they gave me. Do I have a case? I'm gonna charge you because that's gonna take my time. But, you know, please make sure y'all have a case before y'all start disputing. A lot of people get caught up in the idea of wanting everything taken off, and and it's like y'all just dispute everything. I call it mass disputing. So y'all just dispute everything. You don't even have no reason to dispute. You just dispute. And all that's going to do is get all your stuff verified. And then you're going to unintentionally validate it. And then you're going to be stuck with it. So when talking to a debt collector for the first time, do you think I should ask for a pay to delete first or work into it? So if you are willing to pay the debt, right, offer the pay to delete first. Now, I can't speak for everybody else's, but the way that my pay to delete letters, the templates are worded, it's worded in a way that says if you reject my offer for a pay to delete, and we cannot come to an agreement on the terms, I will be forced then to require a debt validation to check to see if you're even legally allowed to report and collect on this anyway. So that's just how mine are written. And so I offer, if I have a client who's willing to pay, I'll do the pay to delete first. If not, then I'm definitely doing the debt validation. I forgot I was supposed to be playing Pokemon. What other questions you guys got? What other questions y'all got for me? You know what? Low key, I still have time. What's a very low paced game? Yeah, I'll play this. Do you think it's worth disputing? Oh, I'm sorry. Cassandra, I don't see the first half to your question. All I see is, do you think it's worth disputing? What's the first half of your question? And no questions, but your skin looks for real. All right, so let me tell y'all something. She just made me feel so good. She said my skin look good. Okay, let me tell y'all something. So y'all know the TikTok stuff y'all be, I don't know if y'all be seeing what I be seeing, because I just, I stumbled on a bougie black girl TikTok after I did the Trader Joe's video. And so I kept seeing these ads on TikTok and Instagram, because y'all know the FBI be watching, about these people putting this stuff on their face, and they had what's called glass skin. Like, their skin was so smooth and perfect. And at first I didn't believe it because it was all white people. So I was like, oh, that's not gonna work for me. But then I started seeing black people in their ads, and I was like, oh, and they sell it at Target, y'all. It's called Versed. Cause look at my skin. Now, all right, first of all, before y'all come for me, I know I got the black marks. We ain't get to that part in the regimen yet, right? I gotta just clean the face first and moisturize. But look, y'all, you can't even really tell. But like, I'm glowing, it's moisturized, it's lit. So if you ever needed a skincare regimen that's not as expensive as Fenty, it's called Versed. I signed a voluntary surrender for a car. It got towed before the car lot could get it. Fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you. You cannot dispute on those grounds. So like, what girl, I need, okay. Cassandra, can you do me a favor? Can you DM me on Instagram? Because I got a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions, and I really don't want to put all your business out here on these TikTok streets. So could you DM me on Instagram so that I can talk to you after this? I really want to help, because that fucking sucks. Speak on freezing third-party reports, please. So listen, a lot of people, and so many people be asking me this. Oh, wait. A lot of people be trying to freeze their reports and then dispute, and then everything will come off. But what you don't understand is that once you unfreeze your reports, all of the stuff will repopulate, and you're going to have to unfreeze your reports eventually. All of the stuff is going to repopulate, right? And not only that, just because you got it removed don't mean you don't owe. So everything that you did not pay because you got it removed can come back to bite you in the ass in the form of lawsuits, wage garnishments, things like that. So the only time I really even encourage the freezing of reports is when you're trying to hide your bankruptcies. That's really it. If Credit Builder is a preferred method of credit building, why do they promote high utilization when you're supposed to keep it low? So here's the thing. This is how you finesse, right? I tell people all the time, what you use and what's reporting is two different things. So for example, when I'm pinned on my TikTok page, there's a video called The Best Kept Credit Building Secret, right? And I tell people, use your card as much as you shouldn't even be using your debit card. You should be able to cut up your debit card and be silent, right? You need to be using your credit card in all instances that you use your debit card. The only thing is 5 business days before your statement date, not the payment due date. 5 business days before the statement date, you are going to pay your balance all the way down to less than 10%. Now, after the statement date, which will be leading up to your payment date, that's when you can go ahead and pay the card off or whatever it is you're going to do. But you are allowing them to charge you interest, right? Because that's going to cultivate a mutually beneficial relationship between you and your lender. But you're controlling how much interest they're going to charge you, right? Your utilization is supposed to report low, but it didn't necessarily say how low. So you can use as much as you want in a month, which is what they really want. And then right before it reports, you just pay it down to less than 10%. But you always want to report a balance. Remember, 0% credit utilization is a red flag to lenders. So they want you to use the card, but then, when it goes to, credit card companies want you to report higher utilization because they want to charge you more in interest. But you can allow them to charge you interest while controlling how much they charge you by using the method I told you about. I just can't pay full, so I'm definitely willing to pay something, but not all. It's expensive. Is pay to delete the way to go? Of course, in your personal opinion. Of course, hell yeah, pay to delete is the way to go. If I cannot get it deleted with a dispute, like if the debt has been validated, my only option at that point is a pay to delete. And let me tell you something, and you guys can write this down. Whenever I start negotiations for a pay to delete or a settlement, I always start at 20% of whatever the original debt is. I don't give a goddamn how much it is. I'm starting at 20%. And then we can start negotiations because I know they're going to counter offer. I'm not stupid. But I want to start as low as possible so that I got some wiggle room, How many third-party reporting agencies? Whew, shit, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. I have a list of third-party reporting agencies in the Facebook group, in the files, and I'm pretty sure that's not all of them. If Haverty's delete a late payment with all credit bureaus, does it wipe out months of good payment too? No, if they're only removing one late payment, that late payment is now updated to paid as agreed. They're not removing the late payments. I froze mine due to identity theft. Someone has my social. That sucks. Yeah, that is the only time I really say go ahead and freeze it. But just know once you start applying for things, they're going to ask you to unfreeze those. So kind of keep that in mind. Oops. Did not mean to do that. This one is a secured account. I don't have control over the percentage, or do I? Yeah, so if it's secured, that just means your credit limit is set in stone, right? That your deposit that you put on the card is what your credit limit should be. That's the only thing that's special about a secured credit card. You still control how much interest they charge you because so I think you misunderstanding me. So like, let's say you have a credit card where your interest rate is 22%. I know that's super high, but let's say your interest rate is 22%. By paying your balance all the way down to less than 10%, you're controlling how much is hit with that interest. Does that make sense? So, because 22% of $5 is a lot different than 22% of $500. So by controlling your balance, you're then controlling how much interest they're making off of you. That's what I'm talking about when I say you're controlling how much interest they're charging you. Oh, she got me. All right, we are an hour in. All right, she got it. All right, we are an hour in. What other questions you guys got for me today? I need Instagram to get with the times and let me stream on there too. You're so welcome. Oh, not a fire. Oh, girl, it is pitch black outside. I tagged you in a video about sending second letter after dispute comes back verified. True? I didn't watch it. Let's go check it out. Let's go check it out. TikTok. Ah! I wish I could tell y'all what I'm so excited about, but I can't tell y'all what I'm so excited about. Let's see. Now somebody reported my video. Childish. Mentions and tags. Hold on. That's not you. That's not you. That's not you. Oh, here it is. Let's watch it. Oh no, that's I don't think I don't think it's that one. I'm trying to rent a new place while trying to build credit after a bankruptcy. Am I dreaming? No. No. You got two options. You could either, like I said, hide your bankruptcy, which is what everybody means by removing your bankruptcy from your credit report. So you could hide it in a sense so that they don't see it, which will kind of increase the chances of you getting whatever apartment it is you're renting. Or if it's been discharged already, it might not even really play. It really depends on how young the bankruptcy is, but I mean, removing it might be in your best option, but that don't mean don't apply, right? So if you apply and they say no, we denying you because of your bankruptcy, remove the bankruptcy and then reapply. I gotta find this video because I got a fever. That's not it. Oh, what's this?
Why isn't no one talking about this?
Y'all out there trying to dispute, and not realizing that these credit bureaus are getting their information from other bureaus. Look, they not looking in a system or nothing.
You gonna have to send me what video you talking about, because I already did a video on that one. Pancho, tag me again. I don't see no other tag other than that. That hay fever one was funny as hell. Oh, here we go. Somebody arguing with me. You will still have a utilization before the due date. You don't need a balance in interest. Oh my God. Anti-ableist. What? Yeah. What? Bro, somebody, I hate when somebody says this. I hate when somebody says this. Not this girl saying, let me tell y'all something. Please be very careful about the people y'all are listening to on this TikTok app. Because somebody with no profile picture, no resources, no nothing that even ties them to the finance world, will simply be like, oh, I work in finance and this is not true. And then you start digging into their profile and check their LinkedIn profile and they work at fucking McDonald's. Please stop it. Y'all know how I feel about lying. It was discharged in July. So yeah, you can definitely have it hidden to increase your chances. But I mean, yeah, some people will deny you because of the bankruptcy. But if you have, as long as you've been rebuilding since July and like it's going good, no late payments and things like that, then she said, don't get him energy, help me. I had to block him. Like I said, I'm gonna start blocking people, but as long as you've been rebuilding since then, I mean, July isn't that long ago, so you might need a couple more months of positive reporting history. But as long as you kind of like turn in the tide, I don't see why some people won't kind of give you a shot. But like I said, if you apply and they tell you no because of your bankruptcy, you can easily just get that removed and then reapply. Literally that simple. But yeah, I'm about to start. Let me tell y'all, I'm about to start blocking people because I'm getting so tired. So tired. I'm getting so tired of these people who, here we go. You being their customer over other companies is how it's beneficial to them. Oh, God. I just hate it when people who don't necessarily, again, and this goes back to the conversation that we had earlier. Just because you have good credit, right, and you did not have to do these things does not mean that, it doesn't work, right? And so her argument was, yeah, you can inbox me, Leah. Her argument was that you paying interest is not what get you approved or denied for things, and that's not what I said. Remember, please, y'all, comprehension is fundamental, right? That's not what I said. What I said was it creates a valued relationship between you and that lender. Paying interest makes you a valued client. They are making money off of you. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, you're paying interest on stuff that you paid for, so the transactional history. Plus, you paying and I don't understand what's the big hullabaloo about interest, because again, paying interest on a $5 purchase or a $5 balance, y'all spend more than that at Starbucks. So what's really the problem? Like, what's going on? I feel like people just hear I pay interest and they instantly turn off. That reminds me of that video that I did where I said black people should stop listening to Dave Ramsey, and people heard poverty and black people in the same sentence and easily dismissed everything that I had to say, even though my arguments were valid. And it's very frustrating to me because people like that will go to, she was literally going on every video and telling people, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. all because of how she personally felt about a tip that I gave. Like, girl, find a hobby, because this ain't it. Find a hobby, please, because this is not it. And I'm honestly about to just start blocking people. Because I'm open to dialogue, and I'm open to explaining my point of view to people and understanding theirs. But what I'm not doing is attacking people. That's childish. Don't got time for it. Don't need that kind of energy. Pancho, I didn't get nothing from you today. Wait. Is it on Instagram or is it on TikTok? That's what I should have asked. Usually you tag me on TikTok, though. Ooh, somebody giving me Trader Joe's tip. But I said what I said, and I'm going to keep saying it. I mean, I don't know what they want from me. What other questions y'all got for me? Damn, I've been live for an hour. That's probably why I'm getting tired. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Tea time. Where are they at? Oh, if I go back to the... Okay. What other questions y'all got for me today? Nothing. Y'all know how I am. Once y'all stop asking me questions, I go and get off now. I hurry up and get while they're getting good. No, I'm just playing. No, I really do get off. I really do get off, though. Thank you for the rose. Going once, going twice. Oh, if a collection agency sent me my electronic signature from the hospital and an EOB stating everything that I got done, isn't that a HIPAA violation? Not necessarily. What the first thing you need to look for is a HIPAA authorization form, or maybe it is embedded in another document that you signed. And that's going to be your first step, right? Step number one. Number two, when you say they told you everything that was done, was it like medical billing and coding telling you everything you did, or is it spelling it out? So like there's a lot that you got to dig into with these medical accounts in order to include a HIPAA violation, because there is a specific part of the HIPAA law that literally gives like hospitals and doctor's office the right to report this information. It's the how it's reported that's kind of like up in the air. But if you do feel like it's a HIPAA violation, right? If you looked at it, you like, well, it's a HIPAA violation to me, then you go ahead and you send them the HIPAA non-compliance letter and get the removal. And if they don't remove it, you can file a CFPB complaint. And then the CFPB will decide whether or not what you're saying is valid by using all of the evidence that you have coupled with the responses that you got from them and the letters that you sent to them. So if you ever feel like it's a violation, girl, the only way you're going to find out is if you send it to them like, look, you violated my rights. They either going to say, all right, yeah, we did, or no, we did not. And then after that, you'll just file a complaint. Hello, is there a way to hide collections? I mean, here's the thing. Hiding a collection or even taking it off your credit report legally will not absolve you of the debt that you owe. And with collections, you're kind of playing with fire, especially depending on the company that owns your collections, because they will sue you. So there's that. Not an anti-ableist on my post doing the most. Please go. I'm gonna start asking people for their resume when they come to house. Speak on my shit. It's frustrating. What other questions y'all got? None? Don't tell me that. I'm trying to wait and see if Pancho tagged me in the video. Let's see. No, I don't got nothing on Instagram neither. All right, well, if y'all don't got nothing else for me, if you were late to the TikTok video, the video was recorded and it's going to be available on YouTube literally as soon as I sign off. So you can always view it there. My YouTube channel is WWTMPD. What would the money plug do? And I try to answer all you guys' questions. I swear I do. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram at THEE Moneyplug. If you have a collection account that is not yours and you told the collection people, how can you get that off? You have to prove that it's not yours. You're just saying it ain't mine isn't gonna isn't going to do anything. You have to prove that it's not yours. So if it belongs to someone else, you have to prove that it does not belong to you. You don't have to prove who it belongs to. You just have to prove that it is not yours. Collections pass your debt on to other agencies and they tack on fees. Fees, what to do? Collection companies are not allowed to charge you extra fees on top of whatever it is that you owe. That's a violation of the FDCPA. So if somebody is charging you extra, that's a violation and you can use that to get that removed by itself. No, because I got a collection removed and another company bought it and now I'm dealing with them. So usually when that happens, so listen, that's another thing. So let's say you guys successfully dispute something, right? You proved these people did not have what they needed to either report or collect on the debt. What are your options, right? So when a debt, once it comes off, you can always try to go back to the original creditor to see if they'll, retain ownership of that debt and you can pay the original creditor so that the debt is no longer owed and it won't be sold again. Or you can wait until it's sold to another collection company. Whenever a collection company first acquires a debt, they send you a letter, right? This is entering you into what is known as the dunning period, right? You get 30 days to request a debt validation or whatever it is that you're going to do before they report to the credit bureaus. This is a perfect time to negotiate a pay to delete. And the reason why is it's already not reporting, right? So it's nothing for them to just not report. So you can write them a letter saying, hey, you just got this debt, right? I'm going to make it easy for you. I know that this is not a valid debt. However, I also know that you're just going to continue to sell it. So I will give you X amount of dollars, whatever you feel comfortable paying, and you will not report this to the credit bureaus. If you agree with this, you write me back saying that you agree and what the terms are, and I'll go ahead and make a payment. If you do not agree, then I'm going to request a debt validation, and you will not be able to report or collect on this debt. So, what's up? It's literally what you're going to do. That's the quickest way to go about it. Thanks. How can you do that? I wasn't at that address during that time. Then prove that. Again, you have to if you're saying that it's not you, number one, they're going to ask you to do an identity theft report. So you're going to have to file a police report. You do not need to know who stole your identity. You just have to file a police report saying that you were a victim of identity theft. You are going to have, I would suggest going on FTC, so Foxtrot Tango Charlie.gov, and they have a whole section for identity theft, right? Including a form that you can fill out and provide to the credit bureaus. You will do that. Then you will have a copy of your police report and a copy of that form you filled out to send to the credit bureaus. And you're also going to reach out to that company and ask them what are their guidelines for reporting fraud, right? Reporting that identity theft. And then you're going to follow their steps too. And you're going to take all of that and submit that for this account and say, this was not me. Here's my proof that it wasn't me, as well as all of the identity theft documentation that was required. And then that should get the account taken off. Y'all, I'm so hungry. And I've been sitting here staring at my food while I've been talking to y'all for the last hour. I've also been supposed to have been playing. Tawana, I'll put it in the comments. It's ftc.gov. Oh, my baby. What they do to my baby? They do to my baby. Up to 4,400. So what you need to be sure of is that the original company didn't tack that debt on there. You need to make sure and provide proof that this was not the original amount that the company told you that you owed, right? That this is not something the original creditor came up with. You're going to have to prove that this came from the debt collector in order to get it removed due to an FDCPA violation. You can also sue them if it does come out that they tried to pull some slick ass shit like that. What other questions you guys have? Oh, I also got a podcast, y'all. So my podcast is the same name as my YouTube channel. So there's a couple episodes. I did not do an episode this week because 2 episodes technically came out last week. So another episode will be out on Tuesday. But pretty much it's shorter content with the exception of I think it's the last 2 lives are playbacks. The last one being the tea on home buying, and another one was talking about generational curses because that was a really good conversation that I felt like we had on live. But if you like my content, but you don't got time to sit and watch YouTube videos all day, the podcast is definitely for you. So the podcast is called WWTMPD, What Would the Money Plug Do? And it's available on Apple Music, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. So not Apple Music, I'm sorry, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then Google Podcasts. Matter of fact, I can pull up the literal law right now. and read it verbatim. ABC won't get rid of the debt, but the gym said if I rejoin, they will. Can ABC do that? What do you mean? That sound fishy. That sound mad weird. Technically, so I'm gonna be honest with you, a debt collector can do what they want. They can choose not to report your account anymore because they are the data furnisher. So if they say that they're not gonna report it anymore, then they have the right to do that. And they also have the right to report your debt. I would do a little bit more digging because unless ABC and the gym have that kind of relationship and you can get that in writing, I wouldn't trust it. It just sounds so sketch. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Section 808(1) of the FDCPA, or the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, states that asking consumers to pay interest fees not allowed by law, so no added interest outside of what the original creditor or loan agreement says that you owe, is a violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and you can sue that creditor for up to $1,000 per law broken. Light bright, unfortunately, right? If you are a beginner, you're going to be looking at some pretty decent interest rates, because there's nothing to prove to lenders that you're trustworthy. There's nothing proving to lenders that you're going to there's nothing proving to lenders that you're going to pay your bill. Thank you, Rebecca. Shout out to Rebecca, because let me tell y'all, so I have been on the fence about going to FinCon this year. And for those of you who are not in the financial literacy space or like aligned in that realm, right? FinCon is like the biggest convention for like financial literacy content creators and businesses and companies, and like it's huge, right? Literally, she messaged me and was like, "Is you going?" I was like, I don't know. And then literally the next day I get an email saying, "Girl, passes is for sale." When I tell y'all I ain't never bought something so fast in my life, it was like, it reminded me of when them Beyonce On the Run 2 tickets went on sale. I have never clicked buy so quick. So I will be at FinCon in September. I got my room. I got my ticket. So I'm excited. I'm super excited. I cannot wait to go. I'm going to vlog the entire experience because it's my first year going. And I'm just super excited. And I can't wait to see kind of what relationships come out of that, what kind of content comes out of that, the things I'm going to learn. Like, I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. I was telling all my favorite people that weren't in Austin this year to join me. Yes. I can't wait to meet you. I'm so excited. There's a Comic-Con for credit. Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to put it. But it covers all of financial literacy, right? So, you know, like certified financial planners, let's see, real estate investors, man, it's so many people, like, it's so fun to be around all these brilliant people and the conversations. Yeah, because I be trying to have certain conversations with people and they be looking at me crazy. What's up, Will? Let me tell y'all, Will be watching me on TikTok and on Twitch, right? And he was like, "Yo, I play with you for real." And we got fucked up a couple times, but we found a little rhythm. We was playing Rainbow Six Extraction. So yeah, we fucked up a little bit, but we found a little rhythm. That's my guy. Oh, I didn't even see you on Twitch. What's up, Will? Low key, I'm about to get off. So I'll show y'all what I'm playing right now. This is what I'm playing right now. Oh, he said he just got here. So this is the new Pokemon that's out. I love it. So I've been playing Pokemon all my life, but you better TikTok and YouTube the Credit Comic-Con. I swear I am. I swear I am. I really like this, y'all. Like, no cap. Like, I really like this Pokemon. I love it. Because, like, it's Pokemon meets, it's giving Final Fantasy 14, and especially with the Chocobos, because I got a good deal with this, I don't even know, what's like Ymir or something like that. And it allows me to like, ride these Pokemon, but like, oh man, I don't even know how to describe it, but this game is so fun. This game is so fun. Heights Camp. But yeah, so this is what, this is what I do when I'm not fixing credit. I play video games. So if y'all want to follow me on Twitch, that'd be actually amazing because I need some more people so that I can make affiliate status on Twitch and get paid on Twitch. So even if y'all not doing nothing, like let me see, it's 17 people on here and then 7 people on here and then 5 people on here. If all of y'all go follow me on Twitch, that's enough people. I'm just saying. I would love to keep giving y'all this information for free and get paid for it so that y'all don't gotta pay me. Just saying. Nah, but I'm gonna go ahead and get out so I can finish playing my game before the storm comes. But you guys were awesome. Thank you so much for the support as always. If you guys have questions and you feel like you didn't get a chance to answer them or you weren't comfortable enough to ask them in public, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Do not DM me on TikTok. Please DM me on Instagram. You can always join the Facebook group at the Facebook name of the Facebook group is Plugged in the Credit Clubhouse. So Twitch is a website where you can watch people play video games. But a lot of content creators have been switching over to Twitch, even though they don't play video games, such as myself, as a way to capitalize on that audience, right? So you can literally, it's called twitch.tv. So if you go to twitch.tv/THEE, so the money plug, you'll find my page, right? And you'll see my, like sometimes when I go live in here, I'll go live on Twitch too. Cause remember, TikTok doesn't allow me to save it in a place where you guys can see it. So, so make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. Support me, support. But thank you guys so much. Yeah, how about that? Stay safe because it looks bad out there today. Thank you guys so much. For those of you who bought the book, yo, I still can't believe I sold one, let alone 20 something books. So for those of you who don't know, I did make and publish, self-publish, pat on the back, a monthly financial planner. It's called Plug into 2022, right? If you go to Amazon and you type my name, so Markia Brown, Markia Brown, you will see my planner. It's a monthly planner. It's a lot of cool pages in there for you guys to use. And again, it's available on Amazon, so you'll get it pretty quick. So thank you for all of you who supported, even if you just liked it and shared it or tagged somebody, you know, that really makes a difference to a content creator. You know, we get paid for engagement. So every like, every share, every save, you know, those things matter to us. This is how I'm able to give you guys all of this content for free. This is how I'm able to spend most of my days talking and less actually taking clients, right? Because I'm able to monetize my platforms and it's all because of you guys. So thank you so much for the support. I am eternally grateful. I'm very, listen, y'all don't understand how grateful I am because I never saw myself doing this. But as always, you know, live every day like it's your last, but pay your bills and wear condoms just in case it's not. And I will see all of you Sunday. I will see all of you on Sunday. I got something for you.